Is Kenji worth it? Guys, Kenji is a legendary brawler, so he's gonna be pretty expensive. He's gonna cost 3,800 credits to unlock. As an official Supercell partner and content creator, I've had early access to Kenji, and I've been testing him out for the past month, guys. And what I can tell you guys is he's gonna be a very powerful assassin type brawler, similar to Mortis. He has a pretty powerful build, guys. He has two things going for him that are really strong. First, his Hosomaki healing gadget, guys. What it does is it's gonna replenish 75% of your health that you've taken in the previous 3 seconds of combat, which is absolutely ridiculous. The other super powerful thing about him, guys, is his Nigiri Nemesis star power. You have to get this star power if you're getting Kenji, guys, because what it does is after not taking damage for 5 seconds, he's gonna get a big shield. That shield protects him from the next incoming damage by a 90% damage reduction. So that's like an immortality shield right there, guys, against some of the strongest shooters in the game. Say like a Piper shot, a Mandy super, a Dynamite super hitting you. Some of the strongest shots hitting you, you're only gonna take 10% damage, which is like nothing at all. So this star power is gonna make him so strong on game modes such as Bounty and Knockout, because guess what? Those sharpshooters, those high damaging brawlers are very common on that mode, like Mandy, Piper, Angelo shot coming at you. You can reduce all that damage by 90%, and because of his fast mobility and dashing, he's gonna be a nightmare matchup. And so when we're talking about his best build, it's easily the Hosomaki healing gadget and the Nigiri Nemesis star power combined with the +1 gadget charge gear, guys, because you want 4 of those Hosomaki healing. It's so OP. And then of course a damage gear, because Kenji's DPS and his overall damage, guys, is not very good. And that's the biggest weakness for Kenji, is his low DPS. It's gonna make him a very bad brawler for damage dependent game modes such as Heist. You're not gonna be very impactful there, or against a composition if the enemy has a healer like a Poco with tanks. Kenji is going to struggle there. And so on a game mode like Hot Zone or Brawl Ball, where tanks and healer compositions are so common, he's not going to be the greatest in. But on a game mode like Gem Grab, he's going to be super strong, just like how Mortis is. You're going to deal so much damage against multiple brawlers. When there are multiple brawlers, the more targets there are, guess what happens? Kenji is going to get more supers. He's going to heal. That's the other super OP thing about Kenji, is that similar to how Edgar does damage on brawlers and heals, Kenji also heals by dealing damage on brawlers. But not just that. You know how Edgar can't heal by dealing damage on the high safe or shooting at a Nita Bear? Well, for Kenji, it's the opposite. He actually heals by dealing damage on the high safe or even non-brawler targets like Mr. P. Porter, Jesse Turret, Nita Bear. He shoots at those targets, he's gonna heal. Because Kenji is so good against multiple targets, the more targets there are in the enemy side, like in 5v5, Kenji is gonna be so broken. Guys, Kenji is absolutely broken in all 5v5 game modes. So if you want to get him easily to rank 30 or 35, 5v5 is gonna be one of the best ways to do so. Now, let's talk about some more weaknesses for Kenji. Like we said, his DPS is not very strong. He's not the greatest damage dealer in the game. And so, a game mode like Showdown is also not going to be very good for him. And the main reason for that is because he's also a very short-range brawler such as Mortis. So imagine Mortis in Showdown. Well, Kenji has the same weaknesses being an assassin. He's gonna be weak to the common Shelly, the common Surge that you see in Showdown often. And not just that, Edgar and Kit are just better assassins for Showdown, mainly because they get their supers for free. Their trait gives them free supers just by camping. Well, For Kenji, that's not the case. He has to work for it. He has to get his super, and in order to get his super, he has to fight people, right? And having very little range, it can be very risky, especially on solo game modes like solo showdown or duels where you only have one life. You can't respawn back, obviously, right? So he's not going to fare very good in those game modes. Now, in terms of skill, I do think Kenji is going to be one of the harder brawlers to master in this game. Mainly because unlike basic brawlers like Kit and Edgar where you can just get your super freely, with Kenji you have to be aggressive. You have to get on brawlers and use your attacks to get his super. And not just that, for Mortis, it's different. You can play aggressively with Mortis, you can die, and then you can get your super, you can get a hypercharge. Kenji doesn't have access to those. He doesn't have access to a hypercharge, while his super is not the easiest to land. His super, you can quickly and easily target it and miss on the enemy if you're not very good at aiming it. So there's a lot of good skill that is required to be a very good Kenji player. You can heal off of enemies and then you can tap a gadget to heal, but at the same time you have to be able to keep your distance. You have to know what matchups to go against. If the enemy has a Gale, a Shelly, Surge, those are brawlers you need to stay away from because you're going to get hard countered pretty easily from them. And so you need to know what brawlers to target in order to get the best out of them. So if we're thinking about it in the grand scheme of things, is he really worth it? Well, in my opinion, yes. He's going to be a really strong brawler. He has a crazy build that just constantly gets you health. You can heal back so much. You got a gadget that can heal you. You can heal by dealing damage, right? And then you have so much shield abilities. You have his Nigiri Nemesis, Star Power. You have very good health, 7,600 health at max. And then on top of that, really good mobility. He's a very fast brawler. And then he has other ways for mobility, such as his dashing ability, right? And so he's going to be a very fun brawler. If you like assassin type brawlers like Mortis, you're going to love Kenji. I've been having so much fun playing with him in the dev build. Not just that, if you appreciate a brawler that requires skill to truly master and appreciate, then Kenji's gonna be a great one. He's got so much utility, versatility, guys. You can do so much with them. That mobility, 2 types of attacks, the slash and the dash. Guys, Kenji is gonna be so much fun. I really recommend getting him if you can. So I hope this video was helpful. Guys, if you're purchasing Kenji from the early access, make sure to use code AshBS in the shop. I would appreciate that a ton. Thank you guys so much, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.